In this episode of Stop Tommy Tuberville from Talking, the senator from the state of Alabama, former football coach of Ole Miss and Auburn, he's now coming for teachers. Particularly, he wanted to make sure he's at inner city teachers, okay? Meaning at the black schools, at the brown schools, basically. That's what he's trying to get at. He's coming for them now. I despise this motherfucker. And I'm going to explain why. But before I do, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, all right? I am your homeboy first. This is the realest, most entertaining sports show in the game. Put it on something, okay? And let's lean into that aspect of the show. The realest aspect of the show, I should say. Let's lean into that, okay? If you missed it, this son bitch Tommy Tuberville was sitting down with Donald Trump Jr., another bitch-ass motherfucker. And he got to talking about teachers, okay? He said this. He said, how bad our teachers are in the inner city. I don't know how they got degrees. I don't know whether they can read and write. They want a raise and less time to work, less time in school. We ruin work ethic in this country. That's Tommy Tuberville now. There's many ways we can look at this. Let's start with, first of all, the hypocrisy of it. This son bitch used to coach football. Most prominently in the goddamn Southeastern Conference. Who the fuck you think he was coaching? Young black men, right? Where the fuck he think that those young black men were going to school? I bet he wasn't showing up to those goddamn schools to recruit them boys and disrespecting them teachers like that then. Old Tommy wasn't saying none of that fuck shit then, was it? Not publicly, at least. He was saying this shit behind the scenes. This is who he is, obviously. But publicly, he wasn't saying it. The hypocrisy of it. Where are his players? Where are you? Former players of Tommy Tuberville. We need y'all to hit some of these podcasts up. If you played for them, you feel free to come on here and put it on something. If you want to defend your coach and say, I'm coming too hard on your coach, come tell me why I am. We need to hear from y'all. Because y'all need to be calling this man out. Y'all need to be denouncing this piece of shit. And warning other young black men not to play for pieces of shit like this. So I'm giving you an open invitation, okay? Hit me on one of my socials, okay? Because I don't read YouTube comments unless you are one of the realest ones. Then you know what I'm talking about. You're a channel member. I read your comment. Salute to y'all. I love y'all, okay? And I love all the real ones, but that's just one of the perks. I only read the comments of the realest ones. You feel me? But hit me on one of my socials then if you want to come on, put it on some, and tell me why this son bitch ain't a racist piece of shit. If you played for him, not just some fanboy of Tuberville. I ain't got time for your motherfucking ass. Okay. But otherwise, y'all need to be calling this son bitch out. That's one. Second thing, y'all know how I feel about teachers. I'm a former teacher. Okay. My mother was a teacher for over 40 years. Okay. She was an award-winning English teacher. I'm an award-winning history teacher. Okay. One of my businesses is still educational consulting. Okay. So I'm still involved in education. Okay. I am somebody who champions the phrase and the policy to pay teachers 100 grand across the country. That should be the base salary of all teachers, no matter where you are across the country. And that salary should be adjusted for cost of living depending on what state you're in. Okay, because I know $100,000 in New York or California ain't the same as 100 racks here in where I'm from in Mississippi. Okay, so when this piece of shit tries to act like inner city teachers are all of them just ignorant and lazy and don't want to work or something like that, that bothers me. See, that is counter to what I'm saying. And it makes this country more dangerous. I put out a whole speech talking about how the education of our citizens is really a national security crisis. And he's some big time conservative Republican. He's supposed to care about national security. If our citizenry continues to get dumbed down, if our citizenry ends up with inferior teachers who can't overcome the challenges of teaching kids who come from struggle, that's a large percentage of your goddamn country that's not being well educated. That makes us less safe. That makes us fall behind in science and math and the STEM shit, science, technology, engineering, and math. That makes us fall behind in that. When we fall behind in that, we're gonna fall behind in our military technology and our advancements in our society as a whole. When we do that, our foreign enemies gonna be on our ass. Particularly, I think about China. They already got more people than we got. They just ain't got as much money. They ain't got their weaponry is not as technologically advanced as ours. But if we keep falling behind this shit, it's over with. So you can't just look at the suburbs and say, "Oh, we good because the suburbs good." You got to look at the inner cities. And do we have some bad teachers in the inner city? Yes, we do. We got some bad teachers in the suburban schools as well. Fuck we talking about? You got bad people. You got people who are bad at their job, at any job. He's a U.S. senator and he sucks. He's a fanboy of Donald Trump. He was a United States president and he sucked. You got people who are horrible at their job, at whatever job. But teaching is something that we really can't afford to have that. Because they're educating our treasures, which is supposedly our children, That's what people claim, but they don't act like it. See, if Tommy Tuberville thinks that the teachers are so ignorant and lazy, he should be wanting them teachers to get gone. He should be wanting those teachers out of there, right? He should be wanting someone excellent to replace them, right? What the fuck do you think the number one thing excellent people would want then? They want some money. They want some money. Instead of just dissing motherfuckers, he should be talking about what he's going to do as a U.S. senator to change the policy to up the money to attract better teachers than if he thinks the shit's so fucked up. But that ain't what he doing. That ain't what he doing. People like him just rail against teachers and the teachers unions and shit like that because they think they pro-Democrat. That's all they do. And they go around doing all these book bannings and accusing motherfuckers of teaching CRT and all that dumb shit. Accusing teachers of being woke and all that. Being anti-teacher is just part of their damn platform. That's all that is. This man don't give a fuck. And he don't give a fuck. He supports Donald John Trump. Definitely the most ignorant president of the modern era. I had to go all the way back through this bitch, but shit, Donald Trump makes George W. Bush look like a goddamn straight A student. That's how dumb that motherfucker is. But he want to rail against inner city teachers. Well, help him then, Tommy. Let's get some new blood up in there. Sponsor a bill that's going to make sure that all the teachers in the state of Alabama get base pay $100,000 and see who starts coming to those inner city schools in. Because it's fucking hard. It's hard. You got to worry about mass shootings. I've been to those meetings. I've been to training about how to deal with a mass shooting. The last school I worked at was 20 minutes away from a police station. So they were trying to tell us what we would have to do to protect ourselves in the case that the mass shooting happened. I've been in those meetings. You got to worry about violence just within the school. I've broken up those fights. I've done that. And he talking about they want to work less. Motherfucker, we get we don't get paid for all the work we do. Lesson plans and grading papers and having to call parents off the clock and document yourself calling these parents and then turn that shit in, okay? Knowing your material, studying and professional development as a part of what the school wants you to do, but also personal professional development to make sure you're on your game so you can go in there and deliver the information to the students, okay? And don't let me bring in the coaching aspect. God forbid you a real teacher and a coach like I was. You wasn't getting paid for no 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. I was working 8 to 7. That's a normal day for me. The fuck is Tommy Tuberville talking about? And I was teaching in rural high schools. But it's the same. Poverty. So do something about it, Tommy. You're a U.S. Senator. Y'all got a Republican-controlled House of Representatives. Talk to your boy Kevin McCarthy over there. Y'all work together and get a bill passed that's going to up teacher pay. And to cover yourself on your Republican side. So you can say you ain't trying to kiss the teacher's ass, but you know it's a national security threat. If we keep falling behind educationally, then the Chinese going to be overrunning our cities. I don't know. Say whatever you got to say. But you claim you want to do something about it. Well, you ain't even claim you want to do something about it. Not in that clip. Maybe you went forward and said something. I don't know. I doubt it. The one thing I don't doubt is that when your ass was a football coach, you wasn't coming up in there and dissing them damn teachers like that. You wasn't dissing those inner city coaches like that when you were going in there and trying to get their boys to come to Ole Miss and come to Auburn. So stop the bullshit. And somebody stop Tommy Tuberville from talking. Put it on something.
Thank you so much for watching my daddy's YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and turn on your post notifications. Okay, how do I do it?